right at 7 January?
No, that's right. No. In fact, uh, it's one of the few American ways of doing things that I like. Even though it does make more sense to go date, month, year, as you get from smallest to biggest. Something about the month than the date I like. Maybe it was when I lived in LA. I got used to it. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, it tells you when in the year you are. It's like you need to know if you're in May or June or July or
It's
December or
true.
January before
It's
you know
very
what day
true.
it is. So
It's very true. Very true. All right. So what's happening? What is happening? Um, Touching back, there basically hasn't been any break on Obvio. There was a couple. I kind of keep track of roughly how many events are running on Obvio each day, and of course the number was a lot less over the holiday period. It wasn't nothing, which means that people were still things happening all the way through. There wasn't a day where there wasn't anything happening. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, go Amelia. Go for it.
I just was farting around and setting up my spring booty wiggle challenge, and
Nice.
all of my events, past and present and future, are live.
Okay. So what that means on the organization page where you see it says live, um, is simply that event sits within the window of time. Like now is within the start and end time. That's not the case.
Past, present, and future events are all live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the piece that Grant mentioned, there's another parameter it uses, which there's a toggle on the settings page to say, is the event online? So if the event's online
I
or
was
the end date
That's
is
just
not
how I
passed.
noticed it is because I was going in and going, that's not a live when I'm in. And so I said, not, I went in like, my Big Dreams blueprint from 525, right? I went in and I turned
Right.
off the online status and hit save and then went back to the thing and it's live.
Yeah, I think you're right. Muddy just said the same that he's seen it. They're all just saying live. I'm just double checking another
Yeah, now
organization.
it turned
Yeah.
off. Now it turned
Yeah,
off.
and only if it's toggled off, but it seems to be ignoring the date, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I can show you, like, you know,
Yeah, I can
if you
see it
want.
as well.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
that would be that'd be a
Are you
feature.
seeing? That's right. Um, are you seeing the same thing, Justin? If you look at your. Yeah, okay.
Trying to think. I think every one of my events is online. So let me take one offline and I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me try to find one here. Go way back. Here we go.
Yeah, because I'm going to, you know,
Yeah,
Big Dreams Blueprint of 924, and it's showing live, and that is
yeah, I've
definitely
got yeah, I've got one that ends in July 2022, and that still says it's live. So looks like we're ignoring the date at the moment for some reason.
anyway. Just thought I that was
Anyway, yeah,
just an interesting.
thank you. No worries. Yeah, and yeah, I mean it was really just an indicator of what is in that window. And the thing is now that lots of us are using events, multiple, using the same event over and over, and so we often have a really wide window. And so it says that it's live, but no, it absolutely is a bug at the moment. That's dropped in there so we'll get that fixed. No worries. Um, cool. All right. There's no posted questions, which is fine. Let's see.
Grant,
Yes,
Happy
Miriam.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
I don't come to Obvio calls very often. I've been super busy.
Hmm.
But at some point, I'm going to go deep diving to
Nice.
understand because I'm going to be really working with a team this year. And one of our really big goals is to get a lot of events going. So we're going to be working with Justin, hopefully.
Nice.
Talked about it and might even be pulling money for certain things. So we're going to be using Obvio a lot. So I guess I may as well ask now,
Hmm.
what's the best approach for me to be, and Justin, because you're here also, as I start to build those events through Obvio, what's the best approach to be working with it and learning it and everything else for my team? Because I'm not going to be doing all the nitty-gritties.
Hmm.
I'm going to be too busy. Yay. But what do you think? How should I get them to go in and start to familiarize with it? What's the approach I should take?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the key. I love what you're saying that you're not going to do the nitty gritty, which means that you don't need to learn how to do everything. The key thing for you is knowing what it is that you want to do with it, like what's possible, and then what sort of features you want enabled. You don't necessarily need to know how to do it. The team does. I mean, if you're working with Justin, then you're all over it. Justin will be able to handle all of that for you and give suggestions about the things that you want to do. I think that the best thing is when you're doing like little team meetings and things like that, do it in Obvio, right? Like use every opportunity to play around with different aspects of Obvio, and so that even when you have 3, 4, 5 people, whatever it is, that are joining, you can sort of test things out a little bit at the start of at the start of your team meeting. It's like, okay, how did you get in? How did you find that process? Did that button work? Is the names showing correctly? If there's labels at the end of the names, are they showing correctly? Things like that. You're testing it all the time, and then yeah, that way you kind of just kind of marinating in it and thinking about what you can do. Yeah,
That is the most phenomenal uh,
an
advice.
analogy.
Yeah, it's excellent advice because then what I can do is I also have member.io and
Okay.
then I can
Yep.
get that moved over and we can have the transcripts done right away and slap it into the AI to pull all of the information. We're going to have, and so we'll have all of that connected and streamlined, right? So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
great.
I I think the best thing that we can all do is take a step back and look from the attendees' perspective. Um, because sometimes we see bright shiny things and we're like, we should do this, that'll be great, like why not add this and that and this, and because you can do this, that would be amazing. And it can confuse it, and it confuses it for the attendees. And so when I think about, firstly, the very first question you're asking is Obvio the right the right choice for your style of event and your attendees? Now, chances are I think it will be, right? But it is the first question, because sometimes, and I know you're further down the track, Miriam, but for some people, just using Zoom out of the box may be the best way to get going. And uh, as opposed to risking not knowing Obvio well enough, and then getting something wrong, and then it's a train wreck because you can't get people in because you forgot to toggle a button or something, right? So the first thing is saying, no, actually, Obvio is the right choice. I really want that, because some of these features I want, one of the things is I want straight away when people click the link that they get in the email, I want it to be a branded experience. I don't want them to go straight to something that says waiting for host to start the meeting, because that sort of almost subconsciously for people tells them this is like a boring business meeting that I have day in, day out. This is the same thing. And okay, yep, great. Waiting for host to start the meeting. I wonder if they're going to get start on time or whatever it is, right? So straight away, you're setting it up as a different experience. This is not just another boring business meeting. This is an event. This is something special, and it's branded. It's all the colors. It's all the imagery that you want people to see. And Obvio creates that home for your event, for before, during, and after your event. And so we kind of are now using this term like it's a temporary membership site, right? So you've got membership.io, which is awesome. That's where people live long term. But when you've got an event, this is where they live for those 3 days or however long you're running your events for, the one day. And the point for us always was remembering what are the key differences or the focuses, the values for us at Obvio was we want a really smooth, easy experience for attendees. So we want a passwordless process for people. We don't want them to have to log into Zoom. We don't want them to have to log into another website. We want them to get an email in there, get a link in their email, click that, and it goes straight through to where they need to be. They see all the information they want. They click a button to join Zoom and it opens up and we know who they are. That's some of the key things, right? So that knowing who they are is a key thing as well, because we don't want people to join and it says iPad or, iPhone as their name. It is actually their name because they're properly registered and now we're tracking it and all of that. So I'm kind of getting back to the basics on that. But that when we think of it like that, okay, from the attendees' point of view, they get this really nice email. It makes a lot of sense. It's really concise. They click that link, takes them to a dashboard. Everything's really obvious. Oh, there it is. That's the button that says join, and whatever terminology you want to use, join the main stage, join Zoom meeting, whatever you want it to say that makes sense for your audience. Makes it really clear. They click that and they join.
And that the what comes to mind is it's something that popped up while you were talking, which is just a question. Listen, there is no way for us anymore to fully protect ourselves online. Let's be
Right.
clear.
Yeah.
We are susceptible in every conversation that we have that someone will snag it, tag it, share it, and abuse it.
100%.
It's the reality.
Yeah.
And in saying that, when we use Obvio, someone can't hit click and record. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
That's also part of it. It's a little tiny bit of security that we have. It's a layer.
I mean, and all security is a trade-off of convenience, right? We could put 10 locks on our front door, but it's really inconvenient. Most of the time, we're not just going to leave the door just open, have no lock on it, right? And just hope that people don't walk in. So it's a kind of the same thing. Yes, people can use some other software and screen capture and do some audio recording, and they can do some, fancy things if they want to. But we're not going to just make it super easy where they can just press, local record and now they've got a recording, right?
They can do that in a normal Zoom call. Is that correct?
It depends on how it's been set up in the admin, right? But this does raise a great point, and which is new, and you may have missed this too, Miriam, is that just at the end of last year, we added a few extra settings when you're creating the Zoom areas, and so I'll just show you this here.
Am I taking anyone else's time for questions?
There's no other questions at the moment. I think everyone's just easing into the year.
So this is good. I have a meeting maybe next week with my team, so this is perfect.
Great. So I just went to Zoom areas, and I hit create new area. And so what we have now is there's some settings that are for the area, and then there's some other settings across, if you see, across the event. And so if we start with the event, one of the things that we're talking about right here with what you're saying is turn on local recordings. So local recordings is where a record button does become available, and you can sort of choose who has access to that when you're in the meeting. But essentially, it creates a record button that you can then record locally to the computer. And some people really want that in Obvio. We have that turned off by default because of exactly what you're saying. We don't want to make it super easy for people just to take your content.
But I'm looking at that and I just read it, allow hosts and participants, but you can make it so that it's just the host that can record.
Yes. Yeah. There's a fine setting within the Zoom in meeting settings for who is allowed to, and you can sort of turn on that all attendees can record. And Justin, check me on this, but I think that you've also got, if you have it as default, it's going, when someone hits the record button, it's going to ask the host whether they're allowed to or not. If you don't have it on, allow everyone. Is that how you see it, Justin?
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I haven't turned on local recording in like 3 years for an event.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you get the recordings if you're recording it?
So
cloud recording.
Sorry?
Yeah. So
it's in the Zoom cloud. The local recordings to your machine, it doesn't record inside of Obvio. So if you only did a local recording and then tried to go inside of Obvio and click on the recording buttons, you wouldn't find a recording because it would be on your local machine. By default, Obvio does recordings in the cloud. We turn that particular setting on because there are some events that kept requesting it. However, they've set up their tech and their process, they really needed local recordings on. And this was just one of those settings that reduced down a little bit of our support time to have to go in and turn it on for specific events. Now those events can control whether they want it on or not. Most will not turn it on, which is why it defaults to off.
Okay, that was something that's really important because when I starting, I'm going to be starting to use Obvio a lot actually. And I can sort of see the formulation of how we might do it in terms of having meetings with people from around the world. And I want to be able to give them some reassurance that people can't easily capture that information from them. So if we're using Obvio rather than just a Zoom call, there's a lot. It just adds layers, and like you said, it makes it a bit easier. But in order for anyone to enter into Obvio, they have to have a Zoom account, correct?
No, they don't. No, so they don't need a Zoom account. Ideally, they have Zoom installed, and so Zoom's already installed, but they don't have to be logged into an account on Zoom.
Okay, but they have Zoom installed. So let me rephrase.
Right.
Do they have to have a download, or do they have to touch Zoom? I have one of the people on my team who will remain nameless. Listen, I'm tired of having arguments with them about how to help them because they will not let me help them.
Right.
I need to be able to get them into my meetings. So do they need a Zoom account or a Zoom downloaded anywhere on their phones or anywhere? Do they have to have that in order to click on the Obvio and get into that?
Yeah, particularly on the phone, the app would need to be installed. Now, what happens though is when they click the link, so you've sent them a link, an email link to the Obvio dashboard. They click that, they go to the dashboard, They now click on the link to join, as you did just now, to join this meeting, right? They click on the join main stage, or whatever you call that button, and it'll now go to launch Zoom. Now, if that's on a mobile device, it's going to, depending on the device, it'll look for whether Zoom is installed and try to open that. You can click, you will then click a button to open it in Zoom, or there'll be, there's also the option there to open the App Store and go and download it, right? So that you have Zoom installed. Once that's installed, you never have to worry about that again. It's just there. Similarly, on a
then sign into an
they
account.
Don't. They
Okay,
don't.
good.
No,
Okay.
no. Same with on the PC or a Mac. Once it's downloaded and they've ran the installer, that's it. No login, no passwords. Just as long as Zoom's installed there, they click the link, it opens in Zoom, and away it goes.
This might be the answer to my dreams because yes, they will not listen to me about what they need to do in order to. So yeah, this would be very helpful. Justin, do you because we've had a few conversations. Anything else I should ask today about or thoughts about using the Obvio for these events and for meetings and things for our team coming up?
Probably not that Justin can't answer himself.
Yeah, I do think Grant was kind of going down the route of what do you want on the dashboard? Should Obvio be used? And I think that's a great thing to figure out as you think through how to use it is what do people need to see? What are the things that you think you're going to consistently put in the chat? Is there a link to a workbook or a document that you're always going to be dropping in the chat? Those make sense to put on the dashboard. Do they need to be able to see speaker bios or if there's sponsor links? Like all of those things that you might give out during an event, those are the things that you design onto the dashboard. And that's where your side kind of comes in to figure out what do you want it to be on there? And then the team can figure out how do I get that thing on there? Whether it's a link, whether it's an image, whether it's a link to a document. But if you know what you want on there, then the team can design in what is on the dashboard for you.
And because again, thinking about all the meetings that we're having, this might actually really help us to focus if we because you can auto link. I don't know if it auto links or if you have to use Zapier to go from member.io to Obvio, and then it automatically sends it over there to a particular area. Do you know about that, Grant? Anything?
Depends on what you're trying to do there. So are you using a CRM as well as membership? Like, have you got something else in your box of tools?
Many things. We have so many things.
See, I mean, the CRM is your source of truth. Like that is the key. That's your, arguably the most critical piece of the puzzle as you grow, because it's your list. It's where you're maintaining all of that key information about all of your customers, all of your clients, all of the terms that you have, people that are on a list but haven't signed up yet, people that have signed up, all of that is in that one place. And so that's super key, because really from there, you're then able to connect whatever that is, whatever the CRM you're using is, you connect that then to Obvio on an event basis, right? So now you're saying, okay, these 50 people have signed up for this event. They're now tagged that they have signed up for the event, or they've paid for the event, whatever it is that you're doing all within the CRM. You're now connecting that to an Obvio event, and that's now here is the event that it's connected to, and these are the participants. And now Obvio is sending back to the CRM and says, here's their unique login. Store that, for those contacts, those people that have signed up, and then be able to send the link out to them, right? So see how it's kind of like lots of work is being done in the CRM to handle that, to send out to Obvio, this is the person I want, give me a login link for them, and now I'll send all of my communication from the CRM. Because a big advantage of that is while you can do some broadcasting emails and things directly from Obvio, generally what you'll find is, particularly when you're talking about multi-events and lots of events, is that you want to be able to see that all of that history within your customer relationship management, right? Because you want to be able to see they signed up for Alpha event, and then they was sent the email, they came to it, then they signed up for the Bravo event, and then right, and so you can work down, you can see it all of the communication is going from that CRM. And then when it comes to your membership, membership IO is another thing that you would tie back into your CRM, not necessarily Obvio, right?
This conversation is so important for me right now because we expect funding within the next, I don't know, what time is it? It's like hours.
Yeah, nice.
It's I've 20 years. It's very emotional for me.
That's
very
exciting. Emotional. Yeah. So congratulations.
It's really great. So what I'm hearing actually is, and it's been making me think, and I've been thinking about Justin a lot lately, because I have him.
Aren't we all?
Justin, don't tell your wife. No, I'm kidding. Don't tell Karen. I've been thinking a lot about him and Muddy as well, because they're so fluent in this whole flow. And how can we, with the future of where we're going, which is really hard for me to verbalize because it's so massive, this project that we're going to step into,
Right.
how can I get the right platforms? And I think that what you just demonstrated is that I have one called Neon One. And Neon One is very, very focused on, it's a CRM, but it's a CRM that's really focused on one primary thing, which is nonprofits.
Okay.
And so I think that what I'm hearing has helped me to understand that maybe we still need to have, what is it, Justin? HubSpot? Is it HubSpot?
That is a CRM. So
Yes, but is that the one that I have with you?
You have Go High Level.
Oh, Go High Level. Oh, Go High Level. Go HubSpot. Whatever, right?
Right. Sure.
I mean, come on. They're all,
it's whatever. It's whatever until you go to log in, and so then it's good to know what one it is.
Yes. So this has been very helpful. And I think that also it tells me that I really need to start coming to these meetings and
Sure.
And start asking more questions like this so that I can make the best decisions possible for how to focus everyone and focus myself and what we need to do. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I tell you, the things that are sounding great with what you're talking about, I mean, aside from funding, because that's very exciting, is getting the right people on the team, right? And one of the things that when we're thinking of Justin or Muddy, others, is kind of like these technical event producers, right? So what's happened with the online events is it's broadened the roles of these people, because often we just talk about, oh, I have this tech person, I've got the tech guy that's going to just run my event. So if you imagine that you were doing this in person, that's the person who's going to be behind the desk and they're just going to make all the stuff happen. There might be a couple of people there, but you've got this one person that's kind of the technical director, and they're just going to make all the sound and PowerPoints and all that stuff work, and you don't have to worry too much. Now, the scope of that for an in-person event was actually quite focused on the actual on-site delivery of the event. Rarely was that tech person, that AV guy, rarely was that person involved in your CRM, your, like your pre-production, even your post-production processes, right? What's happened now is that we say, okay, online event, I've got my tech person who handles all the AV and just makes all that work. They are likely also an expert, and particularly in the case of Justin and Muddy, are experts when it comes to CRMs, getting emails out, making sure that all those links are working well, potentially editing videos afterwards and making those available after as well, right? So now you've got this tech person. The tech covers all these other areas that were often kind of an admin type area before. It was like an administration area. Oh, and registration. Why has the tech person got anything to do with registration? Well, now they do, right? Because they're helping to make sure that all of that's working. And so it's helpful when you're thinking of what roles are my team playing, that often this kind of technical event producer role actually has a lot to offer in all of this world, because it's the whole workflow from how you're acquiring your contacts in the first place, to how you communicate with them, and then to them signing up, to then getting the links and getting through all the steps, and then post event how they get off to membership.io and how they have videos there or whatever it is that you have there. All of that's kind of that crucial technical person. It's kind of all these digital services sort of that you're connecting. So then the point is that my encouragement to you is when you look in the mirror and say, what is my role? What is it that only I can do that no one else is going to do? It's going to be content. Yes. And it's going to be connection. It's going to be connection with the people that you're pulling in. And so my encouragement to everyone, as you're listening to this and you're thinking about what is it that I do, is that only you can get that content right. Only you can build the connection often with the people that you're connecting with. But you can get other very highly skilled people to handle some of these other technical things. Now, you still need to understand when it comes to, it's like, I don't care how the email goes out or what, special buttons you have to click to make the emails go out. What I'm going to do is I'm really going to spend a lot of time on the copy of that email, because that is crucial. And so you're in a really good position where you are already building the team to be able to manage that. And I acknowledge that there are people here and within our circles that are using Obvio that don't have team yet, that they are, doing this all solo and they're working that out. And I totally get it. But I do think it's helpful, even as a solopreneur, is that you wear different hats, so that at some point, yes, you are doing more digital services and connecting some things together, but you get that hat off as quick as you can and put that main hat on, which is the one that you will always do. And that will keep you focused, because the digital services are rabbit warrens that will sap up so much time, and they will steal time. They will steal time from what's most important. And so what is most important is that attendee experience and the connection that you have with them. And so I say this regularly, because we can get distracted by, I want to change this button to another color because that's going to change the world.
It's an interesting question for you about the whole platform, because you're probably going to hate this question, but listen, with what's been happening with AI, it's a blessing and a curse all of a sudden, because everyone, like, there is one member of my team, it's like, I'm so like, I mean, I can't get them to stop going in circles over the AI, and I'm like, you know what? Just stop. You have to figure out what. Just stop. You have to figure out what does this platform offer me? What is it offering? What do I need from it? How am I going to work with it? How does it benefit anyone else? Is it valuable? Is it not valuable? There's all this checklist, right?
Yeah.
So, we have to determine that with and that's what I've been spinning my wheels for 6 months, looking at all these different things to really think, how will this fit so that the team has it streamlined? Because if it's not streamlined for the team, it's not going to work. Okay. It's just not going to work. So that's one thing. And with Obvio, one of the things that I'm thinking about is some of the other sessions that I've popped in on were really informative when I've just been listening, about all
Hmm.
these really cool things that you can do
Hmm.
that Obvio offers. So my question is, do you have a list of all the little things that Obvio offers? Meaning, you know, uh, I don't know how far we got with the paid, I don't even know what it was called, like the payment processing, or there was some kind of something to do with, what am I trying to pull out of my,
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, there's a marketplace function within Ovio where you can
right.
sell tickets, and you can essentially you can even sign up. Find that on the Ovio website, Muddy. Nice. Yeah, you just need to. Um, is it Latin that you need to
Yeah.
learn to be able to understand the Ovio website? Uh, what is Laura Limpsum? Um, yeah, it is coming. Yeah. Um, there's a marketplace. There are a few features that are kind of cool within Ovio, but my warning is that there are a couple of things there that we've set up for people that don't even have a CRM, uh, and so they're literally starting out and they're trying to get an event with 10 people to come along, right? And so if they've got no other service and they can't even pay $100 a month or whatever to go high level, as an example, they can at least just have a place where they can sell a ticket and then send the emails from Obvio and just get that first event going, which hopefully bankrolls it, and now they set up a CRM and they set up their services all properly, right? So I know that it can be confusing sometimes because some of it looks, really simple and easy, and why wouldn't we just use that? But if you already have a CRM in place, that's the way to do it. That's the proper the proper way.
Can you on the, like, for example, on the home, I call it the home page,
Yeah,
on
the
the dash,
dashboard.
yes, on the
Yeah,
dashboard when they come into it, you can put links to our websites and all sorts of things, right? I
totally can.
mean,
Yep.
in a while since I was in the back end, and I did go through the entire 8 hours. Thank you very much. I'm one of those people.
Nice.
On double time play, but I
Double
did
time.
do
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
Because if I don't understand what's available and how things generally work, then I can't direct anyone. And that's what I'm trying to
100%.
do.
Yep.
So, would there be any
Yeah.
benefit, for example, for us, do you think, when we start to have events for the Great Gathering for the nonprofit, do you think there's any benefit for us to be able to work with Marketplace in order to get donations right there, or rather just send them to our website, donate, and then the direct
Yep.
click?
Yeah,
Okay.
the latter. So
Okay.
let me give you an example uh, of sort of what I was thinking about with saying before about the attendee experience. And you were touching on it there, where it was like, can you have links on the dashboard? Absolutely, links, PDF downloads, images, videos, all of that sort of stuff. So if we think
Mhm.
about the attendee experience, not like just what are the bare essentials of what they need. They want a really easy way to get to the event, right? So the email's super clear. You click that link, you get to the dashboard, and maybe they've come there a day early. Maybe, you know, depending on when you send it out. Maybe they're 3 hours early because they don't quite understand the time zones. But they're there. They've got a countdown. If you set that up, a countdown's really helpful, right? So it says really clearly, it's in 3 hours. Don't worry about your time zone right now. It's 3 hours, right? Because in 3 hours time is the same no matter where you are in the world, right? It's in 3 hours. And so a countdown's super helpful. Then it's like, you know, welcome messaging from you that makes it super clear what it is that they're, you know, it's like, yes, this is what I signed up for. I'm in the right place. Here's the button I'm going to hit to join Zoom in 3 hours time. Oh, and here's a little workbook or a you know, some supplementary, you know, complimentary sort of, you know, material right there. Super easy to access. I can click it, away I go. And then the main thing is I've even got a little agenda that's like, here's the days, the days that it's happening, the times that it starts and ends in my time zone, right? Like it's really clear that it's listed there on the dashboard.
Does anybody else have a question? Because I have another one. We all good? Good. Okay. Here's another.
Everyone's enjoying.
I'd like to get to the point where, as an example, I have a monthly free event, okay, for both my brand and the nonprofit. Yes, I've got two massive things going at the same time. As you know, why not?
Yeah.
And so if I'm doing that every month,
yep.
Can we just keep that open so that, for example, 25 yep. people, so let's just say 100 people sign up for the free event in February. And then we have it, we send out those emails and everything like that. Can we just keep that open so that that's just one event? Like, how does, in other words, in the CRM or in the, how does this work through Obvio if I want to keep that going, right? To
yep.
keep the, and then if somebody opts out or they don't want to do it, how does that vibe into, you know, how do I do that? How do I handle that through the Obvio?
So thinking of this at a high level approach, which won't matter what CRM you're using, the event that you're in right now, this Q&A is exactly what you're talking about. This is an event that has a super long start and end time. In fact, I can show you that. And we use it every week, and people get, it's actually tied, the CRM that we use for Obvio is Keep. And so Keep is where all the attendees' data is kept. And so all the reminders that go out for this event go from Keep. And so then when people can unsubscribe from that, they'll stop getting that. There can be processes to delete them from Obvio. It's often not necessary, but you can do that. But essentially, it's all happening from the CRM. And from the Obvio side, I'll show you what I'm doing here. I just wanted to finish one thing. I'm just jumping around a little bit because I just wanted to finish this, and that was, I was just showing an example of what, this is the dashboard that we're on right now, the event that we're in right now, and I just wanted to show what it looks like here. We started talking about it, and then and so I started playing with it. But if we would,
I didn't even realize that you were doing that. You were a super pro.
So I just had this going. You can see as this example, these Q&A calls are 5 p.m. Eastern, but in Australia Central Time, it's actually 8:30 on the next day, 8:30 a.m. And so when I go and look at the dashboard as an attendee from Australia, I see the exact times in my time zone. right? As it says here. I think that's super valuable, right? In the same way that I think the countdown is super valuable. If we were to put this, I'm coming back to your other question. I just wanted to show this because we mentioned it. So did I do that right? January 14, yeah, at 5 p.m. And so now when people go to the dashboard, they're going to see that the next call starts in 6 days and 23 hours. So if you were to do nothing else, it seems like what are the things that we constantly have the attendee problems with is what's the link? How do I get to it? And when does it start? Because I'm so confused about the time zones. So now we have this single link. It's like, this is your link. You go to it. First thing you see is the countdown to when it starts. And if you go down and you want to, you add an agenda item, it even shows these are the start and end times for the days. And so that's like, okay, awesome. Oh, and now here's a link to a workbook, right? Or, or links to something else or whatever, like some prior required reading or whatever it is. Or a video that is an introduction video, for something that they might have before they get to your event. So I just wanted to, I'm jumping all over the place, but this was kind of
this is great because I just went and looked at a prior email from Barry and I wanted to see something there because I was going to ask when people register for signing up. Right now, I don't collect phone numbers and like, it's a big question. Should I? Do I need to? Do I make it mandatory? It's kind of like one of those big things. I should have asked Barry the other day when it was Ask Her Anything. Maybe I'll add that to Friday's call with Blue. But what I wanted to know is when I have a CRM like ClickFunnels, for example, and I'm collecting all the emails and I have them all sitting there, those connect to Obvio. Then for let's say the monthly call, if that individual decides to unsubscribe, it goes all the way and it connects in with the Obvio and it's updated automatically through Obvio.
Not necessarily, so it can, in that they would, the most basic is that they would stop receiving the emails, right? And so they wouldn't get the monthly email. Them being an attendee in Obvio is likely the default would be that they would still be an attendee in Obvio and in that event. And that may not be a problem until until you're talking about hundreds and potentially thousands of people. Now you might be hitting something where you're needing to pay more to have more attendees in your event in Obvio. Whereas if you're managing deleting people likely automatically, then you can manage the number of active people that are sitting in that event. So, but you're talking more technical solutions, which Justin will be able to handle all that for you. But the point is that the attendee experience is that you're sending out, particularly monthly emails or monthly events, is you really want to make sure that is a marketing email more so than a transactional email, right? So the transaction email is like a receipt. You've bought something, you get that receipt. Same with I've signed up, I've paid for an event, or I've signed up for an event. I now get my access to that event. When you have ongoing events like this, it's kind of a gray area between a transaction email and a marketing email, and the difference is generally a transaction email doesn't have an unsubscribe from it, right? If you buy something and you get sent the receipt, you don't have an unsubscribe from that email because it's like, oh, I need that email. So similarly with an event, 3-day event, I paid $300. I get my links. I get updates about it every day to, reminders to come. It's all transaction. You can't really unsubscribe from that because in 3 days' time, that's it. You're now the event's over. When you're doing a monthly ongoing, you may choose to send that in a way that it is unsubscribable, so that people can unsubscribe from that if they don't wish to attend anymore. So it's kind of diving into the weeds on that, but it is good to understand that something that's ongoing you would likely want to have a unsubscribe from. So
oh my God, I will talk with Justin more about that when the time comes, because that is something that's really important for me to understand. And
yeah,
yeah.
And this is a good example of something that there is a technically all these approaches and ways of doing this that you don't need to worry about, but you do need to have a good understanding of, okay, functionality from an attendee's point of view. It's important to me that we're not spamming all of these people every month and not giving them a way to be able to unsubscribe, right? Because you're just going to annoy people. So it's important that, we need to have an unsubscribe function in those emails, as an example. So I just want to touch on one thing that we were talking before about other features, because you're saying, what are all those other extra fancy things that you can do? And one of those is like polls, for example, right? Like you can do forms, you can have people fill in different forms and collect data. And you're like, well, that's super cool. Is that needed right from the start? Is that the most important thing and you need to have that on your first event? Likely no, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's a good example of, okay, from the attendees' point of view, as we're first getting this going, I really want to count down. I really want to have dates and times, make it super easy. I want to have my PDF available for them and links to other websites, but I don't need forms, and I don't need like a leaderboard. There's gamification that we have in Obvio as well for, people get points when they click on different things, and then there's a leaderboard and there's all this extra engagement. Very, very cool, right? But do you need it? No, you don't necessarily need it. But in 6 months, a year, 2 years time, you might be like, hey, we are so good at running our events now. We could totally turn on this point system and we could make that really work for us. And that could be a really cool thing for our attendees that they really like.
I remember something about in one of the sessions I came to about testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
You have that as well. There's something about testimonials for someone to upload or to share. So you have that kind of bells and whistles as well, right?
Yeah, there's been a few different ways that people have tackled that, and one of those is like a form, and it can simply be a one text box that people fill in, and then depending on how you use that, you can then display that repurpose it, copy paste, sort of things, and put it back onto a site. That's one thing. Testimonials can be very handy, and capturing that during your event can be really good. Another similar thing is like our image upload feature, where I'm sure you've seen that before, probably at a TVE event, where we've said, hey, take a photo of your workbook or the swag that you got or whatever it was, and upload that image, and then we can have like an image waterfall, and now we've got all these images of people at home showing whatever it is that we said. Again, awesome for engagement, really great when you're requesting those images and when they upload, you're saying that you give permission for us to use these in social media, right? And so now you're like, oh, this is amazing. We've got 50 photos that are all amazing. We can now post those to social media and pumps up our event, and that's great for marketing, right? So This is all like building the snowball. Is that is you is image upload required for your first event? Absolutely not, right? Like it's not the thing you want to focus on. And it is where people get unstuck, is that they try to just jam the snowball together, and it's not tight at all, and they go to throw it and it ends up on their face, right? Do you like that analogy? I just made that up.
Yes, I do. And I have to jump in 1 minute here, 2 minutes, because I have another meeting set up. But I
No
will
worries.
say that thank you. And I'm so happy that everyone else on the call today for the space to be able to do this. It's been perfect. It's perfect timing. It's like a little blessing opening here for me.
That's great.
I would like you to think about this, Grant, because I'm like sorry.
No, please.
It's a lot this because it's hitting me.
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to think about, for me, if you could, I'm going to be trying to make some of the calls. And if you see me on a call and you're thinking, hey, Miriam, I think that you might really like this piece of Obvio, I want to share that with you. Think about it, because my goal is right now, simplify,
Mm.
take everything down to its core, simplify
Mm-hmm.
it, and then start building from there, because I cannot handle working with 10 people which are coming on board any minute. And I'm not,
Right.
I can't do big things. I have to start really small. So thank you for your advice, and thanks for the space, everyone. And yeah, it's
Let,
happening.
let me just say thank you, and thank you for being vulnerable, because this is what is going on for a lot of people, right? Is that you're balancing so many things, and when I'm geeking out on all these different aspects, it can be overwhelming. I totally get it, and you're like, I don't even know what to do next. And so I really do encourage you that you've totally got this, because you've got the heart for it. You know what you're doing. You know, at the end of the day, you know what you're doing. And
Thank you.
it's just a matter of taking one step. We talk about it's picking up a pebble. It's just following the pebbles, just one pebble at a time, right? I'm just picking up the next pebble. For you today, what's the next pebble? You know, like what's today's pebble that you have to pick up?
I
And
love that. What's the pebble?
it's simplifying those things, right? Because you're not picking up 1,000 pebbles at once. It's just one. And so when you get that right, when you can get a group of people in an online event like this, and you're able to start connecting with people, it'll all just make sense. And so you just want to get to that point, and you'll be totally fine.
And I thank you, because that's what I need to hear. Obvio and the LEAP program. If I did not have these two things with all of the beautiful people, I know Justin, Amelia, David, Muddy, I'm sorry I don't know the two of you, but,
All the
and
gang.
the whole gang. If I didn't have the support, I wouldn't be where I am. And if I wouldn't have done this massive hard work and taken in everything from everyone, because I'm constantly learning from everyone. It's been an incredible journey over the past year and a half, 2 years. And I cannot believe where I was to where I am.
Amazing.
And I'm not going to be able to believe where I am from a year from now. But right now,
100%.
I'm going to pick up another pebble in my next call. Thank you,
Do that.
everyone.
You're
And
welcome.
we'll
Thank
talk
you
to you
so
later.
much. Okay, bye-bye. Come to an Obvio call for tips and tricks about how to use Obvio, and stay for the tears and the real the real life talk and the challenges of doing what we're doing. Amazing. So good. So good. All right. That was good. We covered a whole bunch of stuff, and I think I'll be right in thinking that a lot of people are in a similar position to Miriam, where you're just kind of wrestling with what to do next and what you shouldn't do. I often say, you know, I've heard it before, that one of the successes of Apple and like the iPhone is as much of the about the things it says no to, they've said no to, as the things they say yes to. You know, it's like they don't have the option to change this feature. You can't change these settings, and that makes the whole thing easier. And so it's just an example of like, what are the things that I can actually turn off, say no to right now, that streamlines it and makes it easier for now. I missed a thing. I think, was it Nancy? Is that being covered? You want to talk to me about a lot of your data? You want to talk to me about that?
Yeah, I can just tell you that I figured it out with the help of your team, Muddy and Justin, looking at it. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm listening to you and then trying to play with these things here. I've got two computers going on, and
Nice.
I figured it out.
Multitasking.
Well, that's the I use this as a chance to work Avio during when the world is so busy. I gotta like, okay, this is my Avio hour. So
Nice.
I'm new at it and I'm playing with it, and it's all a test right now, but I'll get there.
And so specifically, do you feel like what do you feel like happened with some of the data? Do you know?
Well,
or
no, it's me. It was my bad.
Okay.
I was looking at my demo because I had this bright idea that I would try a different platform or template, and I couldn't open up the other one for some reason. And then I thought I lost it all and panicked and I wasn't having tears. I'm like, where the heck did that go? And in the world, in the world of updates, I thought, well, maybe it was just an update. And
Right.
now you have Obvio 3 or something. But
I tell you, yeah, I tell you that, isn't there times where we're troubleshooting something and we take a jump in our thinking, we run down a whole, it's like, this is what's happened, and then you take a step back and realize, oh, hang on, no, I had the wrong tab open, or right, you know, I had the wrong event, I was looking at the wrong thing, or whatever it is.
yeah.
I mean, I think what you're doing, I think I had a quick look and I could see that you've got four different events, which is so good. It's a great way to do.
I thought I only
play
had
around.
2.
Well, you've got two organizations with 2 events in each, and so that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So you're totally fine.
And I'm just playing with everything.
It's a really good way to do it. And yeah, I really encourage people that, particularly when you're choosing a theme and the different themes, is you could create an event for each one of the themes and just poke around with it a little bit and play with it to see what you might like. And so, but you might want to call the different events really clearly by their themes so that you know which one you're in.
Blue said that I should put little stuffed animals out there and talk to them. And
nice.
I have some non-techie people in my world, and it was very helpful to listen to Miriam's thoughts there about her tech team. And the minute she started to roll her eyes about one of the people, I thought that kind of experience to me is a real telltale to say that's not the right person for that particular assignment that she wants to have happen.
That's right. Yeah.
Because of the energy drain, wondering if they're going to get it right. It just can't happen when they're nervous about everything else. So
that's right.
I thought about it for the people in my life that are very Luddites, if you will.
Yeah. And you know, we get that quite a bit. And I think that there are some people that it is just too much. They just cannot get past it, and doing an online event possibly will just not work for them. I do think that they're the exception, because if we think about if we think about our events as sort of like portals into being able to connect with people, once we get that portal established, minimizing all the other things that they need to do, I think is really helpful. And so
Right.
once we've got this connection, like right now, you and I are not touching the computer now. We're just talking to each other. We've got that working. And so now if my audience are more like that are tech challenged and they're going to find problems and get distracted and frustrated with it all, then I'm going to minimize what I'm asking them to touch. Because you can hear and see me, so don't touch anything. It's like, now just sit back and let's just pretend that I'm sitting in the room with you.
Well,
and now we can make this work, right? Yeah.
As I've watched Barry and Blue work together, and her being less techie than Blue, that's kind of the situation I have with my twin sister. She just wants me to do it all, and we kind of feed off each other, and without good cop, bad cop kind of experience, and without even trying to be humorous, we are, because it's just the way it is. So if I were to put her in her own Zoom room, I think that she might explode. So we'll probably have to sit next to each other for quite a bit while we get going on this. And I was trying to work the logistics out on that, and I thought, that's okay. I watch how Barry and Blue, they support each other, and the rest of us kind of giggle, when things happen, and then they make fun of each other, and that's exactly my life. And working with the audience of my Right Fit people are identical, or twins, adult twins, not children twins, but adult twins. And when you see a set of twins on the screen, every single time it gets people excited because they keep staring at us, the whole thing. And one of these days I'll have my sister on board with me, but right now she's very Luddite, and it's okay because I know that that's going to be in the audience too as well.
Yeah, you've raised something really interesting, and that is about when things do go wrong or it's not quite working, and you can kind of laugh through it and it's okay. I think you can do that once you've built a bit of a relationship with people, right? Because you can imagine if people don't know you at all, they've logged into your event, and the first experience of you that they get is, oh, I can't get this going. Oh, what are we doing here? Now that it's fun, but it's like this person has no idea what they're doing. Like, I'm gonna switch off. Now the difference is that if the first thing that they get is the experience that they get is you just like sharing what it is that you're passionate about and the whole purpose of what you're doing, and show that you're intelligent and that you're able to connect with them on this stuff. Well, now you've got some money in the bank with them, right? Like you've got something there that's like, oh man, this is great. And then if it gets to a point where you're like, I'm going to share the screen, but I always get this wrong. Hang on, just bear with me for a moment. Now it's like, yeah, I will bear with you because you've got so much value to share, and so it's okay. Now, excellence, I mean, a term that I've heard before, a phrase, is that perfection won't be seen this side of heaven, but excellence is being better day to day or week to week. And so we always want to strive for excellence. And so in that first one where we're struggling with the screen share, can't get this working or whatever, okay, that didn't work. Well, excellence is to say, I'm going to practice that a little bit. I'm going to get that better for next time. And when you have that commitment to excellence, then people can see that, people feel that, and they're on the journey with you,
Well, thank you. Yeah, and my commitment is to show up every week and keep learning from all the leapers and folks working with Obvio to learn what their pain points are.
Right.
So I can avoid some of those.
Totally. Yeah, and I know people often just hang out in these calls and they can let it wash over, and some things land and some things don't, and it's totally fine. But it's just the general vibe. Oh, that's what Miriam said at the start. She was like, "I'm just here for the vibe," and then started asking a bunch of questions. So that was cool.
Yeah. And Muddy, to your answer, my sister always has more fun. And I'm the good cop. I'm the one that gets it all right. And she's the one that just cruises and somehow has the most fun.
Have you seen the twin sisters from Australia? It was this year
Yeah.
that finished. Oh, is everyone okay with? I'm just taking a little.
Oh,
I'm just going
thanks.
to take a little break here. Hang on. Let me show you something.
Yeah, I would love
You'll-
to see that because
You
I want
you'll like
twins
this.
from all over the world.
You'll like this. So let me see here. Okay. So here's these fun twins that finish each other's sentences.
That would be
well,
us.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that would be an understatement, is finishing each other's sentences. But let's see.
Well, we were in cleaning our birds and we heard this big bang. We said, oh no, another car accident. So we drop everything and we went running out the front. We seen Mum running out from the house up there, and then other cars were pulling up and checking to see if the person was okay. And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, run, he's got a gun.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet.
There you go. Yeah, you look for Australian twins, twin sisters, Bridget and Paula. Their name is Paula Powers, and they're awesome. And actually, Jimmy Fallon had them on his show as well, and was talking to them and had lots of fun. It's just amazing to watch. Like it really is incredible, the connection that twins can have.
When twins get together, it's fascinating to watch each other. We could just sit here and people look at us and we look at each other.
That's so cool.
And
then I've seen
it's going to be a fun project.
There's a trend with twins as well, where particularly kids I've seen, where you've seen there's a few videos where you have a door in between them so they can't see each other, and then you ask them to like raise one hand and they both raise the same hand, and then do a little dance, and they'll dance exactly the same way, without seeing each other. And so I've seen a twin challenge or something like that. I've seen lots of videos like that, and it's amazing to watch. And so there's some connection there, right?
This project makes me smile all the time. So I'm just having so much fun putting it together, and I know that I'll start small, but it will grow.
I really love that. All the best for that. That's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you for listening too.
Yeah, of course. All right. Anyone else? Is there any other comments, questions? More tears? More laughter? We're prepared for anything here. The Q&A. Just double check there aren't questions posted.
Grant, one thing that we could show is the update for the Zoom settings. We changed some of the text around. The functionality didn't change necessarily, but we did, based off the last call, updated a little bit of the text to make it clearer. And when you actually look at a room now, we hid all the settings by default and gave a button to unhide them.
Yeah, nice. I started down that track with Miriam, didn't I? And then we didn't complete it. So Zoom settings, there we go. Yeah. So we can, that was the key thing, is still being able to see it. But you can't change. Now let's see. That room is active at the time. Yeah. So you can see what the settings are, but in order to change them, you need to create the area again. Correct, Justin?
Yep, you have to create the area again to change them. But we did add a bunch of text onto there. So a lot of times we get questions about like, what does require approval mean? What is really the same user? What are some of the language interpretation pieces? Add a little section on there, and as you can see, it grew in size. So we decided to hide it by default. It's not the most critical thing on that page.
Yeah, that's good. So some people may not have caught up that there's a few extra Zoom settings now. And really, if you were using Obvio and had no issues before and you weren't missing anything, then don't stress too much. But it's for the people that were like, oh, gee, I wish I could do this because I can do that in my other Zoom account, but I can't do it on an Obvio account. We've added a few extra things there. And so generally you're not, for most events, the default that it uses is what people will use. Probably 95% will be happy with that. Yeah.
Those little tips are probably easier to implement than the little pop-up recordings of Blue as Clippy giving the tool tips, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Blue as Clippy would be a fun prompt to create videos.
Then on this one, the big change that we made from the last meeting was the transcript, the second one on the right, or the first one on the right. Yeah. It used to say just turn on transcript. Now it says turn on in meeting transcript to try to clarify which transcript it is. Because it's the one that you can, when you're in the meeting, there's a little button within Zoom that you can actually see the transcript when that's on, versus the cloud recording, which that setting has no impact on the cloud recording. Only the ability to click on the transcript button if that's enabled.
Right. Good one. Very cool. So that was a couple of little tweaks here to those settings. Anything else?
There is one more advanced setting for people that are using the emoji page. There should be the ability to change the background color now.
I thought that was there.
Yeah, and I think they actually made it so you can make it. There was some change in the background, whether it was the opacity or change it.
But we don't have demo mode yet for Jeff.
Do not. Yeah, I think it's the background opacity is what got added. That was not there before.
Okay, right. Oh, yeah, that could be helpful. People bringing that into vMix or places that, OBS or things like that, that you could make a transparent background. We'll just add a little bit. Image. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, that's cool. Another little change. Anything else, Justin?
Nothing else that I remember from over the holidays.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Any other comments or questions before we wrap it up? What's for dinner, Muddy?
Street tacos.
Nice. Nice. Are you going to make them on the street? set up a cart. Nice. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I wasn't sure if there would be too many people that would show up this week, but you're already jump-starting the year, which is awesome. So we'll be back again next week at the same time, 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. And look forward to seeing anyone that shows up then. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.